On your way home here.
I just try to see how people get things done. Yeah, I want to see how people get things done.
Yeah.
I do. Not later.
No, he's talking about public forum.
These are in the. Okay, short meeting. You should put that up towards the beginning.
Me too.
Everybody ready? Yes, go ahead and call this meeting to order.
Okay. Bermal, Boss,
I'm supposed to here,
Yes.
present, here.
Cheechak,
Yes.
Hall,
Yep.
Schreier.
Yes.
Okay, first thing up is the agenda. Council, you had a chance to look at everything. Do you have any questions on anything on the agenda?
I'm good.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda, please?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, Schreier,
Yes.
Hall,
Yes.
Boss,
Yes.
Cheechak.
Yes.
Okay, the report on swearing in, I've got everybody sworn in November and December, so everyone's good to go, so.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you.
I swear I'm sworn in.
Okay, Rita Stone?
Yes,
Yeah.
I had the opportunity yesterday to be at the coffee shop, the new shop in our community. If you haven't been there, you need to go. They have great little cinnamon rolls, coffee hot, very good. While I was in there, I spoke with a lady who has a business in the Woodward Granger community. She is interested in the possibility of renting a store here in Granger. She asked about the timeline for the old grocery store. It used to be Finished Grocery Store, then South Sea Grocery Store. Right now it's kind of an eyesore store. Any idea on how long it's going to take to take care of that for the city?
Which building? Is that the?
Yeah, so
this
it
white
Is
building?
this the property?
two doors east
Yeah.
of the coffee shop.
Mhm.
So that is, some heirs of the owner now own that. It is on the code enforcement list. We are having discussions with the owner. It doesn't meet use code right now for storage. It's being used for storage, so we are, that's a legal thing that we're working towards, and it may take some time.
Is there any chance that it could be declared a fire hazard? Because I've heard it's kind of a mess inside. I know it's a mess on the outside.
I'll defer some of that to legal. We're to that next
We've-
step.
Yeah, we've looked into pursuing all those options, so that's one of the things we've looked at.
Do you have any kind of a timeline at all? I mean, it would be nice to continue the growth in our downtown area.
Does anyone know the owners well?
I have no idea.
That would
Yeah.
be, yeah. We're working towards that, but it's a lengthy legal process for us to get that done. But we're working on that.
Do you think anything will be done in the next year?
I would certainly hope so, yes.
Okay,
A year's an awfully long time.
okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rita. There's nobody else on here. Is anybody here who has anything else to talk about that is not on our council minutes right now? No takers? Okay. Moving on, Vintage Road. Bob, is this a you thing or,
Ben, yeah.
oh, sorry, Ben.
It's
Yep.
just the third reading.
This is the third reading of ordinance 438, so it's been passed twice by the council, but we didn't have enough members here in December to waive the third reading as sometimes done. Basically designating three spots that are the 3 spots in front of Vintage Road as 30-minute short-term parking spots so that they don't get kind of squatted on and nobody moving out of them.
So you just need a motion to take action on ordinance 438, right?
Yep, this will be our third reading, so we would, if this passes this time, then it gets published in the paper and it's law.
Everybody good?
Has there been any issues with parking since they opened? I assume not.
Joe?
Maybe.
A little bit.
What are some of the issues?
Cars overnight there, or early in the morning.
Overnight
still.
apartments, parking in front.
So when they open at 6:30 in the morning, there's still cars there.
So it hasn't been put into effect yet, this ordinance?
This is the third reading.
You good?
Yep.
Make a motion on action, or make a motion to take action on ordinance 438, amending the code of ordinances to provide for certain short-term parking zones and for the third reading.
Second.
Okay, Shryock,
Yes.
Hall.
Yes.
Voss,
Yes.
and Cheechak.
Yes.
Ranger Mobile Home Park, is it Jonathan Schroeder or Schrader?
Schroeder.
Schroeder.
Yep. So, Jonathan Schroeder from the Frederickson Byron Law Firm here representing Wheeler Mobile Home Park. I'll try to be brief, just to respect everything that's on the agenda here tonight. Quite frankly, the reason we're here before council is that my office has sent Mr. Rouse a letter back in July and have had several attempts to get a hold of him via email or phone call, and we just haven't been getting any response to try to get some resolution on this property. Catch you up to speed in case some of you are not familiar with it. So my client bought that park back in December of '23. As part of that acquisition, they had some conversations with city staff and the representative from Reed Strand Kim about certain improvements and deferred maintenance that need to be addressed as part of placing new homes into that park. My client put about $30,000 worth of electrical work, as well as completed a boundary survey, which cost about $5,000. That was at the city's request. Completed all of that. They applied to place 3 homes, got a permit approved for that, ordered about $120,000 worth of homes, and shortly before those homes arrived, they called to pay for those permits, and they were told that those permits were being revoked. So hit a bit of they tried to handle it themselves, hit a bit of a stonewall back and forth with city attorney and city staff. So my office got involved. I sent a letter back in July, just laying out our legal position as to why we don't think that those permits were properly revoked, and that we are permitted to place homes in that park, and we just haven't been able to get a response. So this is my attempt to come before council and say, what can we do from here? Is there a way we can get direction from council to get a response to this letter so we want to resolve this amicably, but when we're not getting a response, there's not much we can do about it, and my clients want to continue to invest in the property and fix it up and make it nice and provide more affordable housing in the city, and they can't do that if they don't know that there's going to be a resolution with the city. So.
Didn't we provide direction at some point or another about, there was height of fence and setbacks and paving and?
Right, so planning, and I'll speak to that. So we have 3 new council members and a new mayor, so I want to give we're going to need some time to get you up to speed, and Ben and I can get information, but the planning and zoning did make a recommendation, did pass zoning for that location, and so we'll get that information to the council, make sure that gets to legal, and then we'll bring, their request. If Ben needs to address anything now, we can, but we'll bring information to the council.
Yeah,
She can respond.
previous council and mayor, position was kind of no response to your position. Completely new set of people up here, so we'll bring them up to speed and
Are you Mr.
get back to you.
Ross?
Yes, yes.
Sorry.
Yep. Well, we
Never been
can,
able to put a face on it, so.
yep, we can bring everybody up to speed and see if there's a different response from the city.
Okay, yeah, I mean, like I said, as long as we can get, preferably a written response, just so my client has something to go on, whether or not they need to reapply for permits, or, what the next steps from here, I guess. Would you have like an estimation of when we would see movement on that? And like I said, I know that they're kind of anxious since it's been sitting there for,
I mean, we'll,
2 years.
and not to prolong it, we typically meet once a month, so we will get I'll pull the information, meet with the individual council members and the mayor, and get them up to speed, get them information from the city attorney, and we can place it back on the agenda for the February meeting.
Yeah, that sounds great. So, all right.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I live next door to the
Okay, yep,
You said they're trying to do improvements of cleaning it up.
yeah.
I beg to differ on that.
I understand that, and understand, I don't have boots on the ground. So I can't speak to what efforts they have or have not undergone. I would say,
I can say none. He could drive through it. There is zero improvements on that property.
I understand that, but also understand they have already put tens of thousands of dollars into it, and when there isn't resolution in.
Like I said, I went next door and I see zero improvements to that property.
I understand that. Part of these were infrastructure improvements that are not going to be visible. It takes time. And so the issue is then, if we can't invest in the property and know that we're going to have, city support in that.
The first trailer sits on my property line, and it looks like a junkyard.
I understand that. Okay, but again, understand that, my client struggles to invest more money if we don't know what the city's going to allow and not allow, right? So, they've already put tens of thousands of dollars into it, and so part of it is understanding if they're going to continue to put money into it, that it's not just going to come with, no added benefit. So, I understand. I understand that park has been in a condition for a long time, so.
There's setbacks. And put the new trailers in there, with zero setbacks on that first row.
Right, and we've addressed that through zoning, so they can continue if they want to sit out and continue that, but we have zoning is put in place, it's been rezoned. I'll get that information to the council.
I have the information.
Pardon?
I have it.
Okay,
I have information.
right. Okay.
Well, I'll be in follow-up contact with you, and we'll look forward to being on the next month's agenda to see what efforts we can do towards moving this thing forward, so.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
all
you,
for your time.
thank you. Number 7, 2026, 2027 appointments. I would like to appoint as Mayor Pro Tempore Jody Vermel. Okay. I'd like to make a motion, if there's no questions or concerns, I'd like to appoint Joe Cox, Chief of Police. Can I get a motion on that?
Make a motion to appoint Joe Cox, Police Chief?
Second?
Okay, Hall,
Yes.
Shryock,
Yes.
Boss,
Yes.
Cheechak.
Yes.
City Administrator.
Make a motion to appoint Kirk, the City Administrator, Kirk Bjorlin?
Second.
Okay, Hall,
Yes.
Cheechak,
Yes.
Boss,
Yes.
Shryock.
Yes.
City Clerk Treasurer.
Keep going with them, Dan. This is your category.
Make a motion to appoint Christie, the City Clerk Treasurer?
Second.
Okay, Hall,
Yes.
Boss,
Yes.
Cheechak,
Yes.
Shryock.
Yes.
City Attorney.
Make a motion to appoint Ben, the city attorney.
Second.
Okay, Hall,
Yes.
Boss,
Yes.
Cheechak,
Yes.
Triac.
Yes.
City engineer.
I honestly don't know who this one is, so I can't appoint this one.
The mayor.
Who is it?
What?
Well, it'd be,
Just, oh, yeah. Councilman
yeah, it'd be Bob,
Veenstra.
right? Well, you said mayor. You said mayor, and I
No,
heard
I
that, and I
thought
was
it was the mayor
like,
doing that, sorry.
You'll make a motion
My
to
bad.
approve Bob Veenstra as the city engineer.
Second.
Okay,
That's close,
Triac.
Bob.
Triac,
47 years, you almost touched that.
Yes.
Earl, our Boss,
Yes.
Cheechak.
Yes.
Public Works Director. There's no questions. I'd like to appoint Mr. Aaron Mullins. Can I get a motion?
Motion to appoint Aaron, the public works director.
Motion to approve the appointment of Aaron.
No.
Slightly different.
Motion to approve Aaron as the public works director.
Second.
Okay, Hall,
Yes.
Triac,
Yes.
Boss,
Yes.
Cheechak.
Yes.
Congratulations, Aaron. Building official.
Make a motion to approve Aaron Mullins as the building official.
No.
Did you just say Aaron for,
Jason Van Alsterdam, Shrimp Kill.
okay, make a motion. Make
That goes with the public works position,
Thank you is rescinded.
Congratulations.
Aaron helps, but he's not the appointee.
I'll make a motion to approve Jason Van Osdal with V and K, the building official.
Second.
Okay, Triac,
Yes.
Hall.
Yes.
Boss,
Yes.
Cheechak.
Yes.
Zoning administrator.
Who's also Jason. I will make a motion to approve Jason Van Osdal as the zoning administrator for the city of Granger.
Second.
Okay, Triac,
Yes.
Hall.
Yes.
Boss,
Yes.
Cheechak.
Yes.
Designation of the official newspaper, which is currently, I believe, the Perry News?
Dallas County News.
Dallas County News.
And then we appoint, or we designate the Des Moines Register as an alternate because their turnarounds are faster. If we need to have a quicker timeline, we can also publish there.
Any questions, concerns about that? Okay, can I get a motion?
Motion to designate the official newspaper as primary Dallas County News and the alternative Des Moines Register.
Second.
Okay, Boss,
Yes.
Triac,
Yes.
Cheechak,
Yes.
Hall.
Yes.
Okay, the city engineer report. What do you got for us, Bob?
We're really short tonight.
Like,
It's all relative.
Lies.
Don't believe it. It's done.
Update on the water tower. They're going to be replacing the door probably next week. Power, the meter's been set, so probably about 2 weeks from now, everything will be done. We talked about it, as we mentioned at previous council meetings, we're going to wait till the weather's a little warmer this spring before we fire up the water tower. We're not using enough water right now that we really want to put the new tower in service because we want to be able to not turn it into a big ice cube. We want to be able to figure out how we run the two towers we have now and this tower. A lot better to do that when we're not fighting freezing conditions. So everything should be ready to go. We'll go for that. Sycamore Street Improvement Project is sort of on hiatus for the winter. You know, it's not the best condition. As long as we keep away from the snow, it's tolerable, I guess is the best way to put it. If we get a lot of snow and we get a lot of really bad conditions, we'll have to consider whether we can keep it open. But so far, after we got through the December snow,
yeah,
it's gotten better.
Sorry, which road's that again?
the north-south.
Sycamore
South
to
Road,
the-
comes up-
The one that you just
Those
opened back up,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, yeah. Southeast area improvements, this kind of ties into the Beaver Creek Estates development, which you actually were going to deal with in the next agenda item. It sounds like they're going to be submitting their plans for their public improvements sometime in the next couple of weeks. So those will probably be on for your February meeting. They're going to propose to do at least show us all the residential, which is the 47 lots, which would be the west or south street, and then there's east-west street across the south side of it. I don't know whether they're gonna do it all at once. They're not gonna do much in the commercial area, which is the area sort of east of Myers over to the church property north of the creek. We're kind of gonna maybe see if we can defer that a little bit. We don't really have a report tonight on where we are on the interchange study. We will next month, but we want to make sure we get through some of those alternatives that would affect the location long-term of Northwest 102nd. So to the extent that we don't have to do anything right now that would force our hand in the next month or so, that's kind of what we're planning on doing. We've told them previously they need to make 2 water main connections to the water main that the city will be building. I think we're going to push them to do the east connection that goes south to the residential street and then west and back north, rather than to build a piece along 102nd, which gives us a little time. And then we'll put a trigger on it when they get so many houses they got to build, they got to close that loop. And so, so we anticipate they're going to be starting here early this spring. So there are 3 improvements, actually 4 improvements that the city is committed to as a part of that project. One of which is to build a water main, which would start over at Twin Eagles, go down the old railroad right of way, and then cross over 141, and would come in just to the west on the Northwest 102nd, just to the west of the church property. So where they originally proposed the north-south road, which there won't be a road there now, we don't think, but that's the location. So we could build that. There's really no urgency for that one because that's going to take a few months to build. So it's all done, ready to go, except for the DOT permit, which I don't think will be an issue. We'll probably bring that back to you in the spring sometime. The second project is the lift station. So that area, there's a sanitary lift station that serves that area. And then we also sized it so it can serve the area to the north, which is the east part of the Fitzsimmons property and Hope K property, and then going on north up toward 110. So the lift station is the longest project because of the equipment deliveries. It takes a better part of a year to get all of the stuff that you need to go in a lift station. So the developer would like to get going, get their infrastructure improvements, and start building houses in the fall of '26. So right now, we're scheduled to receive bids a week from today on just the lift station. And that lift station is in the city, it's in our urban renewal area. We're going to fund it through tax increment financing revenue. The revenue stream to fund that is actually coming from the TIF revenue over in the existing, so it'd be like Absolute and those buildings. So we have the cash flow available. We're sort of running on the clock. We're in year 3 of the 20-year cycle, so we want to get some stuff going. We also need to get going, otherwise if we wait any longer, we won't have the lift station done by the time they want to be building houses. So the one thing I do need from the council tonight is we need to have a public hearing. We don't want to wait until next month's meeting. We want to keep this moving along. So the last council agreed that we would have a meeting the last week of January for the public hearing on, and potentially award the contract for the lift station that we're going to receive bids on. So right now, the way it's set, that meeting is at 7 o'clock on the
28th.
What?
28th.
28, 2 weeks from tonight. If the council can't make it and we've got to change it to some other day that week, we've got till tomorrow morning to make that decision. Because we're going to change
5 minutes to decide.
Because we've got to publish that notice, and the only day we can meet that deadline right now, if we hold it on the 28th, is next Thursday's newspaper. So we can't hold it on Monday of the 26th, because that doesn't give us enough days. So it's either Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday of that week. So if the council can meet, and we can get a quorum at 7 o'clock on the 28th, we don't need to change anything. If we don't, we gotta find another date, we gotta find it this evening.
And that's the same night as our budget workshop, so,
So in theory, you should do that.
I think we're all planning
well,
on
that
it. so-
was gonna be.
So we're planning on that, so we'll take bids on that, and then we'll consider the award of contract. The third project is really the force main that goes to the lift station, that goes northwesterly and then westerly along 102nd and 200th, and then turns and goes south to the wastewater plant, and then the trunk sewer that would sort of come up along the creek through the Myers property, and then across on 102nd to basically the street in that one. That one would be ready to go. The problem we have with that one is that parts of that area are not in the city. And in order to use tax increment financing, that all of the area where the improvements are located has to be in our urban renewal area. It doesn't have to be in the city, but it has to be in our urban renewal area. There's a provision under Iowa law where we can go to the county and ask to put property outside the city in our urban renewal area. So we started that process with Polk County and with Dallas County, because 200th Street west of the county line is that part of that right-of-way over to the city right-of-way, basically over to the railroad right-of-way, is not in the city. Dallas County approved it, no problem, so we can do that. Polk County's sort of, being Polk County, said, well, we aren't going to approve that unless you agree to take over the road. And we said, okay, prepare the agreement and we'll see where we go. And they said, well, we got to go out and survey it, and think about it, and look at it, and ponder it, and contemplate it. And sometime maybe in February or March, they'll get back to us and let us know how it's coming. So, you know, it's like, how long does it take you to write something that can be done in an hour? And they say it's going to take them 4 to 5 months. So we're kind of in a parking pattern for that one. We will need to get going on that probably in the next several months, but we're kind of in a holding pattern right now. And we're kind of, there's nothing really we can do. We're not going to be able to get any, we can't get all of it in the city no matter what we do, so we got to go through this process. So we're just kind of in a waiting pattern for that one. It isn't the end of the world. You know, there are contractors that'll build lift stations without worrying about the pipe and vice versa, so we're fine that way. The last improvement project is what do we do with 102nd? The city previously committed that they would pave 102nd from 141 west to the entrance. They're not going to be actually developing that part initially. There's a 10-ton embargo on the bridge culvert there on the creek by Myers. So in theory, they aren't going to be able to bring a lot of their construction equipment in that way. They're going to have to come around from the west off of Xavier. So with all the discussions that are ongoing regarding the interchange study, and the fact that we can't do anything as part of that's also in unincorporated Polk County, we're kind of in a holding pattern on that one. So right now the plan is move forward with the lift station. We can do the water main because that's all in the city. We probably won't do that till April or May. Keep pushing on the county, Polk County, to get the agreement so we can get in the urban renewal area so we can bid the lift station or the force main and the trunk sewer that goes up to serve the northwest part of Beaver Creek Estate. So that's kind of an update. Don't need any action other than we got what I needed is confirmation that the 28th works.
And are any of those things going to hold up the developers?
We're okay right now.
Okay.
If Polk County doesn't get their little hustle on
Okay.
in the next couple, 3 months, then we're going to be at more risk. I'm more concerned about the lift station because I'm relying on outside vendors, and that, you know, you can't. They're hard to push the schedule on. If I have to compress the schedule on the pipe work, you know, that. I can't compress it too much, but I can compress that. So that's all under my control. There's really, we're only talking about buying some pipe to put in the ground. So
Yeah.
that's a lot easier than if I got to go buy some switch gear that, you know. Now, the nice thing about it is we're using local funds, so we're not hung up on the Buy American stuff. So,
Okay.
you know, not saying you should get imported stuff, but there are some of those components that are more readily available in the import market than they are. Same quality, same vendor, same maker, they just make a product. So that's kind of where we are on that one. And then East Annexation Area Phase 2, right now, we filed it with the City Development Board. We thought we were going to be on for a hearing in front of the board this month. But what's happened is that they kind of changed, it looks like they may be changing their tune.
Their staff changed for sure, and that may have led to a change of tune.
Have they given you, have they got back to you yet?
Nope.
So
I called them.
The issue is, in 2023, we went to the City Development Board and started with the big annexation that went way over east and north of 121st. And we sort of pulled that back when Johnston said, yeah, you know, whatever. But one of the questions that came up that Johnston posed was they were asserting that we would have to start over with a new public hearing if we came back with the part that we didn't pursue in 2023. And so what's happened is, if you look at the 2023, we went forward and I actually got approval for the first part, which is the area south and Fitzsimmons and Hope K. We let a piece that we're not going to pursue the piece east of 121st that's in the moratorium agreement. And the third piece of that is the piece that's west of 121st that we didn't take. Originally, most of that's along the 110th corridor. But what we did do is, at the time of 2023, we actually had 2 more applications that were going north on 121st. We didn't add those in, so we wouldn't have to go back and delay the process at that time. But one of the things that the City Development Board staff said at that time is we would not have to go back and have a new public hearing for the area that we had the public hearing on originally. So what we did is we filed based on the but we did have a hearing on the 2 properties that we added. And now they're going back and saying, oh, we can't follow the description. You're probably going to have to go back and start over again and have a hearing on everything. We're waiting for that to get clarified. So it's a possibility we may have to go back, go through the motions again, and start a new public hearing. Hopefully not, because we got correspondence where they told us we didn't need to do that.
Yeah, in March of '24, I had an email correspondence with the manager of the City Development Board, and he confirmed what was said in open board, that we didn't have to do that. So I sent that to the new staff members, hoping now that they will abide by that.
Yeah, but the problem is we have a new person in charge.
Yep.
And the person in charge has only been there since July, so the training wheels are still on. And she's never really done, before she got into this, she worked for the city of Van Meter, but she never really got much into it. She doesn't really know much about annexation and what the City Development Board, so we're going through a little bit of a training curve. So that's kind of where we are. We're hopeful that if we get this thing resolved and we don't have to start over, we'll be on the February meeting. And if we have to start over, what we'll do is we'll come back and set that at the February meeting, have a hearing in March, filed, and we're probably April or May before we get to the City Development Board. And we've got to be a little cautious right now. I mean, the good thing about it is, you know, we only need a majority of the City Development Board for this one because it's all consenting, so. Any questions? So I told you I'd be shorter tonight. Not real short, but shorter.
I guess I have one. So for the meeting that we already have planned on the 28th, is there any concern that we'll have enough time for, I guess, adding the public forum to that meeting for like public comment and all that sort of stuff, in addition to our current meeting?
No.
Or is that meeting
We
for
typically have that? No.
Yeah, it's probably adding a couple of minutes to the meeting.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And you're not, you know, I'm not advocating that sometimes on special purpose meetings, not all cities have wide open public comment. They keep that to their regular meetings. You know, we haven't necessarily done that, but some cities will say, you know, if we're having a special meeting, it's for the purpose of, and we don't have the free-for-all public forum. Not that we have the largest public forum, but sometimes it gets out of hand.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be any concern.
So that, and there's no other questions, we can kind of zip on to item number 10, which is the ordinance 439, which is the second reading. This sort of ties back into Beaver Creek Estates. So what it is that we need to establish zoning for that development. And so the PUD ordinance, we're using what's called a planned unit development, which is sort of like they oftentimes referred to as contract zoning. So rather than looking at it like R1 or C1, where there's like a specific set of boundary and says you follow this, and the requirements are what's applicable to all of the zoning districts. So if you look at an R1 zoning district, the same requirements apply in the city no matter where it is. In a planned unit development, the city has the ability to create an area and then its own like unique little set of zoning requirements. So you can either be less restrictive or more restrictive. And particularly when you've got mixed things going on with different types of housing or different types of commercial and residential, the planned unit development is a very effective tool. It also is a mechanism where the city can put in some requirements that it wouldn't put in just a general zoning district. Because if I put it in the general zoning district, everybody has to comply with it. Whereas this way we can sort of tailor. So what the PUD is for Beaver Creek Estates, it's got 2 residential and a commercial zone. The north-south street that they're proposing will go south of 102nd. The lots are anywhere from like 6/10 to, I think they get up to about an acre, but they're nominally about 2/3 of an acre. So there's a few a little smaller, a few larger. So that one requires a half-acre lot, as well as setbacks and side yards setbacks. Then the second residential is along that east-west street, and those require a minimum of a 1-acre lot. But there are a couple of unique little requirements because it's kind of constrained by the boundary of the Breton Slough, that in the lots that are, in a portion of the lots that butt up against what would be that wetland mitigation bank, we're allowing them to have a reduced rear yard because they open up onto basically the open area. If we got too carried away with it, they couldn't get it between the creek on the north, between Oxley Creek on the north, and the wetland mitigation bank on the south. Now, those lots are still 1+ acres, so it's not like we're talking about postage stamp lots. So, but we did give them a little bit of a concession. The commercial on the north side of the creek, which would be between the church and the Myers property, it's just going to fall into general commercial C1. They'll have to come back and meet the site, that has site plan requirements and everything. So it's more, we're just kind of parking that there at the moment. So this is, the council passed the first reading, and this will be the second reading of it. As for those you're not familiar with the way ordinances work, there's 3 readings of it, but if you have 4 members of the council who are willing to vote to waive the second and third, or the third reading, you can move things along. So, as Ben mentioned earlier, we couldn't do that earlier on the parking because we didn't have 4 people here.
Right, we had 3 for a quorum, but we didn't have the supermajority 4
Yeah, we had a
required to
meeting,
waive.
we just didn't have enough people to do that. So this will be the second reading. Yeah.
For that commercial, just for my own mind, in between the church and your place, there's kind of is like an empty field right now. Is that where you're talking the north part of that commercial would be?
Yep.
There's gonna be more commercial south of the creek there as well?
No, nothing south, everything
Just all
south of
north.
the creek is residential.
Okay.
So there's several acres in there, but it's between the creek on the south, 102nd on the north, the church on the east, and the Myers property on the west.
So the Myers property is zoned, is Ag 1 in the county. If that comes into the city, comes in as Ag 1, I believe our land use plan has that listed as commercial, if that would ever happen.
But understand, when it comes in as agricultural. But you're not obligated at this point to rezone it. So, I mean, as long, and we're a little bit our agricultural zoning requirements are not as stringent as some of Polk County's. And so we kind of view agriculture as, in city zoning parlance, agriculture is kind of what they refer to as a more park stuff until something happens. So it's kind of a broad base. It's intended to allow agricultural activities. It's also intended to just let things kind of be what they are. So, you know, somebody who, Myers Russell, who runs his tree business out of there, wouldn't comply with the county zoning requirements, but would not run afoul of the city zoning requirements. And that's because our agricultural zoning district is really, we're not trying to regulate agriculture. We're just trying to say, okay, it's over here, you know, we'll just let it be, and it can be what it is. And then if it's something, if they want to do something commercial or something else, then we have to rezone it. But as long as it kind of stays as is, they can just, you know, it can be what it is today. We're not going to go pick a fight on that kind of stuff. We never have. It's probably, you're like most cities, it's like, okay, just, it is what it is. So that's the action tonight is that if you pass the second reading, it'll be back to the third reading next month, or if the council is inclined to say we're in agreement with it, you have enough here tonight that you could waive the third reading and approve the ordinance.
Ben, does that have to be a second motion to waive the third reading?
Yeah, you have one motion to approve the second reading and then a separate motion to waive the third.
Okay. Make a motion on action on ordinance 439, approving Beaver Creek Estates PUD and map, second reading.
Second.
Okay, Shryock,
Yes.
Hall,
Yes.
Boss,
Yes.
Cheechak.
Yes.
I'll make a motion on ordinance 439, waiving third reading. Is that how I'm supposed to?
Yep.
Second.
Okay, Shryock,
Yes.
Boss,
Yes.
Cheechak,
Yes.
Hall.
Yes.
I'm done. Unless you have something else for me?
I don't think so. You
May I
guys
ask
go? You guys
a
go?
question? Sure. So if I annex into the city and we're Ag 1, and I'm running my tree company, you'll leave me alone? Is that what you're saying, essentially? And then if we ever sell our property, is the city's plan to zone the whole property commercial?
I think we have that
You
plan.
probably would only rezone it if there's a reason to rezone it.
Okay, all right.
Depends what we would go through. I mean, typically if you change it, it's gonna have to be replatted, because I'm assuming you would subdivide that.
Well, if we annex in the city and I wanted to, and if I wanted to rezone just that front 5
Correct.
to commercial, would the city let me do that?
Yes.
Okay. I
Well-
was thinking the bank would have to let me.
I don't know. Both. Let me rephrase that.
Look put it this way, that would be consistent with our land use plan.
Correct.
Yeah, because it's right next to,
Right, and there's no particular reason why we would want to necessarily rezone the residential, the remaining part of it, the more residential agricultural part. That would not be consistent with it. Now, if you want to go put a bunch of townhomes in there, we're not going to let you do that in agriculture. But if you're just going to stay what you got, and you want to parse off that little piece for commercial, I don't see there's any issue with that.
yeah, I just want to make sure what I'm doing is with the city, so that way I can even make future plans if I need to.
And that's, let me rephrase rather than just saying yes. That's consistent with the land use plan that the council in the past put in place.
Yeah, and I don't know if I need to meet with the new mayor to make sure that's cool for the future plan. You're more than willing to come out and look at my property and see what's going on. I just don't want a bunch of $1 million home and prissy people coming and being like, oh, your truck starts at 6 a.m. It's like, bro, I gotta go to work. Like, that's equipment's not quiet, you understand it, so. I just want to avoid that, so, you know, I want to continue to be in the country, and I know that the development's great for the city. I just want to make sure I'm able to still live my life and support my family is all. So.
Can't be any worse than the newspaper carrier in our neighborhood who has no muffler and comes by at 2:15.
Sounds like a cop.
So I do have a test for the council, I haven't been here a long time. Does anybody know who was the mayor when I started working out here? Anybody know? Clarence Gunderson.
You started?
Oh, Betty Ford, yeah.
Clarence Gunderson in the 1970s.
Yeah, Bob, I think the more appropriate question was, how many of the current council members were alive when that deal was made? I'm not stating, but I'm heavily implying you're a little more advanced in age than we are.
But at least my hair hasn't turned gray.
Thank you, Bob. Congratulations, Kirk, on another year. You're up.
A couple things. So been in touch with Veenstra and Kim. They are putting a zip drive together on, beginning with the last, let me back up. The council had asked for us to gather information from Veenstra and Kim, who are our engineers, of past projects. So we are in hand have that information. So we're starting that process. They are currently pulling digital files from the last 5 years will be the start, and we'll let the council know. One of the difficult pieces, they still have all of our files. Some of them are stored off-site and they're paper, and they pay to store them. So there may be things specifically. We'll talk with Public Works and Bob and council if there are things you want from years ago, but that will take some time to get that paper document. But if there are certain projects that we uncover that we want to make sure we have files of, they will supply those.
And they have a pretty good filing system, so if you want something, they know what off-site storage box it's in, so it's not that difficult to get it.
Okay. Other thing, I want to make sure this council is aware, so the Granger Economic Development Association is getting more active all the time. One of the projects that organization is working on, Mid-American and Black Hills Energy have both stepped up to engage with Granger Economic Development. Both of those entities are represented at the Granger Economic Development table. Those two entities are going to lead and perhaps assist with funding, putting a marketing plan together for the community on why Granger, getting information out to the public and gathering information from the public, what type of businesses is the public interested in, what type of firms do we market to, and so that will be being led by Granger Economic Development. We're in the early stages of that, but Mid-American and Black Hills Energy are kind of leading and considering stepping up financially to help fund most of that. The team got together, Aaron of Public Works, Joe of Police, Christy, myself, Alicia with Park and Rec, to talk about the time system council's been discussing. Christy is exploring how quickly we can get that on our internal system when she goes to the cloud. There is a mechanism in there to do that. If we can't do that timely, then we're looking at how do we just implement an app. A couple of items that we're looking at doing. Police, Joe's looking at just to supply general information of how many hours does it take his team to operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Mainly just to make sure the council has information that with 3 officers, we just want to be aware that, how many hours are they on duty, and is Joe covering? He's pretty good about managing his team's hours. I think there are times Joe's probably covering a lot of that, and previous council had asked that we're keeping, we have information, what's it take hour-wise to manage the police department. The other thing that Joe's looking at doing is he will be gathering data on hours on his vehicles and then miles, And then with that, we'll be coming to the council with a replacement schedule. You know, say between here and here is when we'd like to try to replace the vehicles and go from there. Aaron and his team are, council's asked to provide information, and you guys feel free to fill in if I'm not covering something you want to make sure is covered. But Aaron's working with his team to gather information. How many hours are they pushing snow? How many hours does it take to mow? There is some work that's currently being done, and Alicia and Aaron can touch on this. There's some discussion happening right now of parks getting a little bit more involved in parks mowing, but we'll be gathering information on the team. How many hours does it take to do a certain task? Not getting into the minutia, but kind of a big picture. How many hours are they spending at the water plant, sewer plant, streets, roads? So if you have any questions, we're putting that information together and to be tracking, just to give some feedback and also keeping track of equipment, kind of giving a base on hours and equipment usage, so we can look at some needs and turnover there. Anything, Joe, Aaron, you want to touch on with that? And then hourly we'll be doing a clock in. The system allows that, you can either do it on your, police will probably be logging in and doing things on their phones. Other team members will probably have a desktop that they'll just log in when they're in, so we'll be able to be gathering that information. Anything you want to touch on that? Okay. On the public safety building discussion, so recently, in the last week, we received information from a couple of boards that I sit on. One is the MIPA, Mid-Iowa Planning Association, had sent out some grant opportunities, sent that out to EMS and fire, sent it off to Alicia with Park and Rec. Several of those grant opportunities kind of rose to the top. One of them with the University of Iowa, and they do some community projects, kind of a quick overview. They do community projects, and you can do a full project, or you can do specific ones. They'll do up to, Alicia, correct me if I'm wrong, they'll do up to 10 projects.
10 plus.
10 plus, so and I'll let you go into this in your segment, but just wanted to give you information that we're going to engage with them they have capstone projects with their grad students that they partner with cities. They're really interested in us. 3 of them that they're actively wanting to engage with, and they kind of fast-tracked us to the top. One was a public safety building with their engineering and planning department. The next is a Main Street program to look at how do you revitalize Main Street, how do we get more engaged with Iowa economic development. Is there more funding to designate and spruce up and put a plan together for Main Street, State Street, Broadway. And then the third one is with the park and the 26 acres. So with that public safety building, we did, the team met a little bit today to outline what are the needs, how many offices are needed, what kind of storage is needed, what does fire and police and EMS need for room space, what do we need for bay space, and we have that criteria. We still have Atura at the table, but we'll be bringing to the council for $1,000, the University of Iowa will engage their engineering department to draw plans, to draw options, I believe give us 3 options, and then help us seek funding. So we have a little bit of time as for the council's information. And speaking with bonding council, as we're paying off debt, we didn't use any of the bond money that was approved, because we haven't issued any debt against the public safety building, but we did issue debt for Sycamore Street. We didn't want to layer those two at the same time. So we still have the bond issue able to draw on that debt when we need it. As we're paying down debt, we can keep the taxes stable in the community. There is a window within a year and a half, 2 years, where that will be paid down, and we can just slide that right into the mix and move forward and not raise taxes. So that's the plan, is how quickly can we implement that and what will the price be? And so we're putting information together. We're going to be working, like I say, we still have a tour at the table, but we're engaging the University of Iowa in this kind of capstone. 3 projects that we're focused on now, and we may implement others as the need arises. The other thing we are looking at, Christie's pulled information on the special census. We capture about $139 per census in the community. That goes, one of the significant factors is our road use tax fund. The city receives income based upon our census. The current census is based on 1,654 residents. We're probably closer to 2,000. Under $230,000 a year for road tax. The difference between the 1,654 and 2,000 is about $48,000 a year. So Christy's getting information on the census, and if you have specific questions, she can answer some of those. But we're going to submit the application, see what it takes to do that, what the cost to do the census would be. We may get up to 3 years before the next census. But if you're getting $48,000 a year and it costs us $20 to do it, we're going to get that back in year 1, and then we have 2 more years where we're going to be earning $48,000 just towards road use. So we'll looking to move that forward fairly quickly and figure out what the timeline, how quickly they can do that. Christy has some information on what they require and how fast they would allow us to do that and what the counting would look like. So we'll get that information out. I believe Clint needs to sign an application to do that. So
Can we just have a discussion around it now and say if it's a 2-to-1 ratio, it's a yes, get moving on it? I mean, why do we need to sit around and wait to spend 20 to get 40?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we're spending 20 to get 21. That might be a different conversation, but it's more than a 2-to-1 ratio, so I think it's just
put a
green
minimum
light and
threshold.
go.
we need to see what the cost would be. We don't know what that is yet, but we'll move forward on that and let the council know what that is when Christy gets it
When is the next regular census?
in 30.
2030. That's what I thought.
But it
It
takes,
starts in 2028, collecting.
Yeah. But our special census wouldn't offer us anything additional until 27, right?
We'll offer up to 2030, so we probably won't start collecting anything until at least 27.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So,
but you
There's 3
potentially
years.
have 3 years.
yeah. Okay.
Is that something we can find the info and put on the 28th meeting, or is that something that has to be?
Well, I got the letter ready for you to sign. It doesn't cost anything to go send a letter. They just need an official letter and an application that I need Aaron to kind of help me. I'm hoping we can get that out next week. And then it takes up to 3 weeks to get a cost estimate back. So that's when we should probably decide then. So hopefully by February meeting, we should have something back. 2 to 3 weeks, so hopefully.
Any other questions on the census? The only other thing I have is a Main Street Committee consideration. We'll talk, I think we probably ought to talk to the University of Iowa a little bit about this project, but Mayor, we may request that you designate a Main Street Committee to work with Granger Economic Development to And it's just, there are funds for facade remakes, there are funds for sidewalk repair, there's
yeah.
funds for full remodel. Part of the public safety building process that we've discussed in the past is that we're gonna take the public safety building. When the public safety building gets built, we're gonna take the current City Hall public safety building, and we would like to get that back on the tax rolls. But the past council had talked about a caveat to do that will be to put it up for bid, but require whoever buys it, tears it down, and builds back a new Main Street. Maybe it's a fourplex or something like that. Then we can, oftentimes when that type of revitalization is done, you incentivize the builder to do that with some type of tax rebate. Why that makes sense is, one, we sell the building for X amount, say it's $200,000, $250,000, whatever that may be. We take that, put that money towards a project or the new public safety or whatever. We then you could rebate back, say for 5 years, taxes on that, which would incentivize someone to do it, and they get their money back. But at the end of 5 years, we're getting $40,000 a year in taxes. We're not paying taxes on it now, so in theory, you could incentivize this to happen. We pull the cash out of it, use it towards a project, and then we know within 5 years, which should actually be 6 by the time the taxes roll in, the city has a revitalized Main Street and a new tax.
And more retail.
Yeah,
spaces.
more retail and more tax income.
Is that something you put a cap on? Be like you got a 1-year deadline, or that way
We
somebody's
can,
not just sitting on it?
yeah, I mean, the council would you guys would put a development agreement together and decide, how we want to do this, and you'd do a public bid and put the, kind of the restrictions or the covenants on the purchaser needs to do X.
Okay.
And I think you set that, and then you'd have to sign off on the plan and give them a time frame to accomplish it by. But that's part of that Main Street revitalization is, how do you put something like that together and revitalize that downtown?
Is that something that would just be possibly myself and council? Or
Yeah, I
bring
think,
in?
you probably want some local business owners, maybe some vested interest community members who may come and talk to you and say, hey, I wouldn't mind being a part of that, and
Okay.
Yeah,
Is this
get some-
something that we can talk about and
maybe in
put
February or
up- yeah,
something.
February?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just have you designate a committee, and it could be anyone, if someone wants to be a part of it and make it happen.
Okay.
And they'll be working with Granger Economic Development and Alicia and, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Do we have a
Anything
question?
on my update team that, I know you each have your own sections to talk, but nothing. Okay.
Joe?
Ready for me?
Sir.
I'd like to make the police report nice and quick. Any questions?
It's in your packet. It's in your packet.
Yeah, it's all in the packet. Just give the new council an update. We're not 24/7, the police department's not, but we do handle all our calls. I'm always on call. This last year, December 2025, Dallas County's only handled 1 call for us. And we've actually handled more calls than them, like out at the homestead. We've handled calls out there and assisted them. I mean, they're in town helping us and backing us up. As, we go back them up as well. But they've only handled 1 call where we were not present. We handle our stuff, when they're in the community. Unfortunately, we're not 24/7, be a long time before we get there, but we make sure we're available for the public.
But you come out when called. I mean,
Yeah,
that's,
that's where all my gray hair came from.
Bob doesn't do that.
Yeah, and the next one is about hiring Jeremy Long. We have worked with him, Brett's worked with him at Waukee, probably one of the best cops I know. So he just recently moved into town here, so he's gonna help cover, he's not gonna take a lot of shifts, but he's gonna help cover some on-call time. he's not getting paid for that on-call time, but like, he's gonna be available. That makes sense?
Yep.
So if I like leave town or something, he'll take those nights.
Anybody got questions for Joe about that?
I'm good.
Okay, get a motion to approve that, hiring of Jeremy Long.
Making motion to approve the hiring of Jeremy Long as part-time police officer at $30 an hour, effective immediately, pending background check and drug screen results.
Second.
Okay, Schrock,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Chichak,
Yes.
Boss.
Yes.
Who wants to go first? Tyler or Rob?
I can go. So we had 22 calls in the month of December. To end the year, we had 262 calls. That was a slight decrease from 2024, which is 280 calls. Just so you guys know kind of what Joe did, our staffing, we staff Monday through Saturday, 7:30 to 5 p.m. With 2 individuals. About 4 days a week, we're running paramedic EMTs, otherwise it's 2 EMTs on. And then at night, it's all on call. So that's kind of our staffing model right now. And then Sundays, we're on call as well. Since June, we've trended where I think the most calls we've missed are about 1 call a month. The last 2 months, I believe, we've been at, just this last month. Last month we missed 0 calls, so that's trending in the right direction for sure. We have a couple officer changes on the team. 2 of them are going to be first-time parents, so they've asked to transition out of their officer roles, which anyone that's been a first-time parent understands that time commitment. So, but they're both want to be active members on the department, so that's great. With that, we promoted a lieutenant to a captain, and then promoted a lieutenant up from a firefighter paramedic. So over the next couple months, we're going to evaluate and see about adding an additional lieutenant or 2 and go from there. And then I just want to give a shout out to Emily Blair. She's our public relations coordinator. Over the last 6 months, she's applied for about 8 grants for us, which is just awesome. Really helps with our funding. We don't get everyone, but at least we're trying. So, and then Chief.
I was just gonna go over, we received our life pack right around Christmas. Our life pack and our AED. The life pack was part of the grant that Emily received for us. We are in the training, going through the setup on it. We have training on the 27th, a small group of us, to learn how to use our new life pack and get it installed into the ambulance. We're hoping that it will be ready to be used in February. We also have applied for a T-Mobile grant to get an IV fluid warmer and some IV supplies for our ambulance. And what are you pushing towards?
Yeah, sorry, you want to go over those?
Oh. Okay. Chief says I need to go over. We do have 3 new EMTs for this month. We had back-to-back. They all tested and they have passed. We have 1 person that has gained their hazmat certificate and 6 members that are starting in Fire 1. I think that was the 1st of January.
My chicken scratch is kind of hard to read for, so.
Other than that, do I need to go through here?
No, he'll hit each bucket.
Upcoming for us, next month, we are having SimLab. I think I mentioned it before. SimLab Iowa will be coming, bringing their trailer, and it will be, I'm not sure if anybody is familiar with it, but it's a great big semi-trailer. And they go out to all communities and they do scenarios, case scenario based, in the back of this trailer. So they'll have a group of like 3 people, like Tyler, myself, and another EMT would go in and they would give us a scenario of a cardiac arrest, and then we go through how we would address that patient and take it from how we find them all the way through, or going in we developed this scenario, and then we go in and treat the patient, and they have life-size mannequins, they have some that can give birth, they have postpartum bleeding, I mean, it's just crazy. They have babies, they have little tiny neonates. So it's amazing. So they're coming in February, so that will be something that we're looking forward to. That's it. I think that's it for me.
Thank you.
Looks like we've got some grants. Can you tell us about the Farm Credit Services grant?
Yeah, so this is another one that Emily had found as a replacement for one of our command vehicles. So she was hoping to apply for that and replace that. Either the 2013 Durango or the 1984 pickup truck. So.
Anybody got any questions about that? No?
Awesome.
It's totally awesome.
Yeah.
Can I get action to approve that, please?
Motion to approve submission of the Farm Credit Service Grant application non-matching for the command vehicle replacement in the amount of $25,000.
Second?
Okay, Hall,
Yes.
Boss,
Yes.
Cheechak,
Yes.
Shrek.
Yes.
Okay, the T-Mobile hometown grant?
Cattle guard might be one.
The T-Mobile?
Yeah.
That one is for our IV fluid warmer, IV supplies for a year, and an alley arc bumper for the ambulance. Something to help prevent for hitting deers, and it's for $7,323.
We have deer around here?
Just a couple.
Couple?
Yeah.
Anybody got any questions about that? Get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve submission of the T-Mobile hometown grant application non-matching for ambulance equipment in the amount of $7,323.50.
Second?
Okay, Hall,
Yes.
Cheechak,
Yes.
Shrek,
Yes.
Boss.
Yes.
Okay, I think you sort of covered this already, but this is the semi-trailers coming in for the,
Yes, so they need, I can't remember exactly how much space they said that they have to have on flat ground. So I'm trying to look into other opportunities than just closing the main street off also, but worst case scenario, I would like to put it in front of our station.
so we have to have a motion to approve that. Like, if we approve it, she can still move it elsewhere? If she finds someplace else?
I would put that, put that in the motion, because the motion written here is for that parameter, so.
And I assume there'd be no issues with anything getting in and out for fire and EMS?
No.
Where they're parked?
Yeah, I think the only request we had was to make sure it's not blocking any businesses, so Mexican restaurant or Bud's Pub.
Do you want it down to one lane, like on the main street, or what are you thinking?
No, I think if you just do the boundaries of City Hall.
Okay.
That way they can get on the north axis to Bud's and the
One
south
way or the other.
axis to.
Okay.
And I don't know if I throw it out there, we talked with KCP.
Yeah, the racing company across the street.
We talked with KCP across the street to see if we can actually park it in their parking lot for that day. The guy that we have to get approval from was not there at that time, so we have to go back again. But they think that they'll probably be gone racing somewhere, so there's a possibility that I'll be able to put it there, so not blocking Main Street. But I don't have it for sure yet.
So our motion is to approve that, or
A reasonable alternative. That doesn't block businesses or emergency access.
okay.
We can always table
You
it.
got any questions?
to approve if it's on city property.
Right,
We have no say on KCP or anything.
right, if they put it on KCP, it doesn't matter.
Do you want us to talk to the guy across the street again and then come back in February and let you know?
Let's just get it done with now. I'll make a motion to approve.
You can change it if you need to.
I'll make a motion for the potential closing of Main Street at the edge of City Hall building to the end of Fire and EMS building on February 26th from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. for SimLab.
Second.
Okay, Shrek,
Yes.
Hall,
Yes.
Boss,
Yes.
Cheechak.
Yes.
If you don't show up and it's in a private parking lot, I don't think anybody's gonna
Nope.
Nope.
raise their
not.
hand.
Okay.
Okay, Lifeline billing, who can talk to me about that?
I will. So one of the things that I found when I come on is meeting with our EMS MCs, our billing company. And they do a monthly overview of our income, the trips that we have, and they brought to my attention that we have approximately 50,000 of unclaimed debt that nobody has went after for,
Unclaimed accounts receivable.
Yeah, not debt.
yes.
Yeah.
There, thank you for the
Receivables.
right term.
Multiple years though.
For multiple years. It's been probably 3 to 4 years since they went after any of that money. So this is putting a process in place where they can go after and start looking at collecting some of that money for us.
Do we know if there's a timetable on that, like legally, like we have
Statute of limitations.
Yeah.
3 years.
3 years, so anything?
Generally is the statute of limitations, so.
You got any questions on that?
I take it their payment is just a percentage of whatever they can get.
Yes, it's 15%.
That's actually pretty cheap.
I wish them luck.
Yeah. Get action to approve that, please?
Motion to approve an agreement with Lifeline Billing Systems LLC for the collection of outstanding ambulance bills, utility bills, and other miscellaneous amounts owed to the city.
Second.
Okay, Hall,
Yes.
Shryock,
Yes.
Boss,
Yes.
Sheachuk.
Yes.
Aaron, what do you got for us?
Mine's shorter than Joe's, so. No, new employee started a week ago, this past Monday, so nice to finally have a full staff after a couple of years of in and out. I think we got one that will stick around.
Training him up?
Yeah, which is good. So yeah, we got through Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, beginning of December snows, and yeah, it's been a nice little break the last couple of weeks to get back to kind of a normal sleep schedule.
That was rough there.
Other than that, I don't have a whole lot. I guess the only thing I want to bring up, and want to ask about, we can talk more about the meetings. Last fiscal year, I budgeted for a truck out of road use tax. It's time to purchase one. Ford was in the middle of a motor design change, so I held off on 2025 first year. Didn't really want to go down that road. Didn't spend that. Would like to pull that out of road use tax and sit with Christie, probably have to do a budget amendment before the 1st of July if that's okay, and move that to this year. And make
3/4 ton pickup to replace yours, correct?
In addition to mine, yes, yeah.
So we'd be buying 2 new ones. Replacing one, adding one.
Yes, yeah, there's one, I budgeted for one last year, did not make that purchase, budgeted for one this year, so I'd like to, get essentially yes, 2, but the one from last year, the ones already currently budgeted, so of course.
Are you looking at Dodges again, or?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No, that's another, we can get into that. I was gonna try and get this kind of talked over with you guys a little bit, and then I talked to Kurt a little bit and Jared a little bit. I'm not gonna tackle those Dodges or additional plow truck or anything. Let's get through budgets and get all that done. Anything that I do plow truck wise would be road use tax, kind of a proprietary fund that wouldn't affect the general fund, so. I don't wanna muddy the waters with all that right now, and let's
So you'll
get
put that
to
on?
April, May,
Okay.
whatever, see where the annexation, where that annexation
talk
is
to the
at,
budget
each
time.
town, go from there.
You may give them a quick overview. I don't think everyone probably, the council table realizes all the facilities you oversee. Just give them a quick overview of the plants and roads and parks.
Our one-car garage, what we call a shop on Main Street, is the first one that we take care of. But, water plant, sewer plant, 2 sanitary sewer lift stations, as Bob mentioned, the 3rd one coming online. New water towers going in, boosters are called the booster station, but now it's just going to be a pump station to fill the water tower and keep water to the east side of 17. And what else?
And that booster station is down on Burr Oak, down on the south side of Barnum's office building. Yeah. And then parks mowing, mowing right of ways, mowing all the parks, all the fields. so, and then
It's
street,
in
and-
bathrooms, community center.
yeah, street and road repair, so.
Are you guys gonna be in charge of mowing the new, what is it, 26 acres that the city
Depends
has?
on that. Yeah.
Are you gonna get one of those new, like, 12-foot batwing mowers for that?
We made that purchase probably 3 years ago. Drew.
Okay.
Yeah. 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 So, yeah, and then, Joe's probably got more after hours than me, but I'm the closest guy to town, kind of like Joe is, you know, I've got 2 guys living over, one lives in Ankeny. It's easier for me if an alarm call goes off in the middle of the night or something after hours, I can get in here and take care of it quicker than dragging somebody with young kids out of bed.
Can you may give them how many hours you're running the plant, how many hours you're running both sewer and water?
How many a day?
Well, because they're checking those, I mean, there's guys on call on the weekends, you know, so it's not.
Yeah, Saturday, Sunday, 4 hours a day, and then any after hours alarm calls, you know, plug pump, power outage, any floats or flow sensors, anything goes wrong, it calls and in we go.
So we're
That's
typically
every day,
on site 7 days a week.
Right? Wow.
Yep.
Last month you said the new guy's moving to town though, right?
No.
Oh.
He's looking a little bit, but nothing set in stone. Would like to be mentioned, but.
Okay.
You guys got any questions for Aaron?
Currently owning a home in Woodward and trying to find something here that's halfway affordable is, everybody knows that.
What's affordable? I don't know this term.
Okay, Parks and Rec.
So we have one board member that has requested to resign effective immediately. Shelby has been serving the city for about 4 years now. First, she was co-chair with me on Granger Trails Committee, and then joined the Parks and Rec Board. She's also a new mom, so she's just asking to take a step away for a little bit to focus on this next phase of life. So I request for you to approve.
Motion to approve resignation of Shelby Foley from the Parks and Rec Board effective immediately.
Second.
Hall,
Yes.
Shryock.
Yes.
Voss,
Yes.
Cheechak.
Yes.
Anything else, guys, for Park and Rec?
No, well, we're gonna dig into a lot in like our budget meeting and plans, and I'm planning to help out Aaron more. Aaron has held the parks budget for 2-3 years now, and really been running.
Public Works is on the parks budgets.
Yeah.
Forever.
That's right. So, Parks and Rec, we'd like to take that back a little bit and ease the burden on Public Works Department, so they can focus more on the big main facilities that they have.
And I'm 100% on board with that.
Yeah, I bet. Ben, what do you got for us tonight?
Update on the Public Information Board case, the IPIB case. They have their first meeting of the year tomorrow, and so on the agenda that was released is hopefully final resolution of the matter involving Granger. The staff can give the board can do 4 different things, excuse me. They can ask the staff to investigate further. They can dismiss for lack of probable cause. They can decide they find probable cause but still dismiss, or they can find a violation. And the staff recommendation that they issued to the board for the meeting is they're recommending that the board dismiss for lack of probable cause that any violation had occurred, basically finding that nothing that they came across was a violation of the open meetings laws.
Okay, and that
We'll find out tomorrow. 1 o'clock is the board meeting. It's on YouTube if you want to follow along. IPIB, IPIB, Iowa Public Information Board agenda. If you search those 2 things, it'll pop it up.
Do you know what time that is?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock it starts. We're fairly early in the agenda, which has a couple hundred items on it. We're like, I don't know, 15 or something like that, so earlier rather than later, I would guess.
Any questions on that?
Good.
Okay, the annual TIF report.
And so that one, I'm working on finalizing that resolution, to approve by resolution, with the audit from last year having some discrepancies in the numbers. I'm still trying to get that finalized, so if you could defer it, I'll have it done by the January 28th. We don't have to wait till February, we'll take care of it there. Again, that'll just be a short, I'll send the report out to you and look at it. and approve
Okay.
it. So
Just can we get a motion to defer that to the January 28th
Yep.
meeting?
Motion to defer the resolution on 2026-1 approving 2025 annual report to the state of Iowa until January 28th.
Second?
Okay, Chichak,
Yes.
Boss,
Yes.
Hall,
Yes.
and Schreier.
Yes. Alright. Finance Committee. So Mr. Bermal did not show up tonight, so Mr. Hall filled in. We went through all the invoices, purchase orders, claims list. There was no bond payments, delinquent list, all the bank documents, such as the statement, balance sheet outstanding, checks, bank statement, voided checks, journal entries, all the budget reports, timesheets, and we did not find any discrepancies. We amended the sign sheet and crossed off Jody's name, Dan signed in his place, as noted on here. That is all.
You guys got any questions for Jared about that? No? Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, what, the bills and payment, or is that separate?
Finance Committee report.
Oh, motion to approve the finance committee report.
Second.
Okay, Boss,
Yes.
Chichak,
Yes.
Hall,
Yes.
Schreier.
Yes.
Do you have any questions about the bills and payment? Questions?
Make a motion to approve the bills for payment?
Second.
Okay, Schreier,
Yes.
Hall,
Yes.
Boss,
Yes.
Chichak.
Yes.
Okay, we have a couple members that are leaving our finance committee, and we need a couple of you to step into that place.
I'm probably going to be on there since I already signed my name to a document, so.
Pick your companion, I guess.
I can.
Okay,
Who's the second one, sorry?
Chris.
Chris, okay.
So I'd like to appoint Dan Hall and Chris Chichak to the as a finance committee members.
Those are for 6 months, right?
I think it's till,
And 6 months or a year, do 6 months, and then, I don't care, we kind of switched it up, but I'm okay with doing 6 and then switch it out.
And there's no chance of amendment to 2 weeks? Okay, fine.
And I would like to possibly, I mean, we could do it on a different night, so I can go through everything, instead of, trying to get it all done in one night. We can decide that too, like we could do it the night before, or the day before, or.
For the first one, or all of them?
For the first one, or I'd like to go through everything, so you're not rushing.
It'd be good
through
to come
things.
down to the office for
For the new members, yeah.
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 Come during the day or something.
Or, if you want to come at like 5 on the night, I just want to be able to go through everything and so you know what you're looking at and reviewing. So we can discuss that.
so you need to make a motion to approve Dan and Chris for the next 6 months?
Yep.
Yeah?
I just wondering if you wanted to do it for a term, and what you wanted to do it for. So
Yeah, we'll just do
6 seems good.
then.
It's a lot of extra time, so
Yeah.
it's good to rotate it through.
Okay, we'll make a motion to approve the mayor's appointment of finance committee members of Dan Hall and Chris Chichak for a term of 6 months.
Second?
Okay, Schreier,
Yes.
Boss,
Yes.
Chichak,
Yes.
and Hall.
Yes.
What do you got for us, boss?
I have a question about that. Does all of the council members have access to all of the bills on a monthly basis? Like in addition to that finance committee? Like, does, for say, Tyson, would he have access to look at everything the finance committee does?
Yeah,
Is that in your board packet? Is that what?
I don't put all the bills in the packet, that's why it's on that claims list. It's on that
No.
claims list. But if they
Right.
want to look at the invoices, that's why we have 2, members of the council on there, so that they're looking at them, and that's why they're reporting to the other council members, but they're here with me if they want to look at
The
them.
reason I ask is, in the past, and I'm not saying it's anybody here or whatever, but certain members have said, I only look at certain things that stick out to me. And that kind of raises red flags, because you should be looking at all of them as a council, and not just say construction, not to pinpoint you, or, you know, whatever. Like, I feel like as a council member or mayor, you should be looking at all of them. Everybody should be able to look at them. You know, and when I was on the school board, we were able to see everything.
So the ability is certainly there for any member to take a look at any invoice as soon as it comes in. I think the current structure is that 2 council members would take a look and approve everything, and then present it at a council meeting to suggest that if anybody has any questions, they can certainly ask at that point in time,
Yeah.
outside of taking it upon their own purview to review those invoices individually, but
Yeah, well, I just didn't know if it was something that, you know, if, as a group or whatever, you know, I know everybody knows Christy and Karen are busy, you know, like, so it would just be another step to have to reach out to somebody in the office to gain access to those, you know, like,
sure.
to be able to ask questions prior to, so then maybe it's just a simple answer that doesn't need to be, you know, cause extra, you know, does that make sense?
I guess, I mean, there's been a handful of times where I've looked at it when I wasn't on finance committee and asked questions.
Think.
Sorry.
Yeah, I would think if you get the packet a couple days before, and you see the, you know, what's up for payment, they're certainly more than welcome to ask for something and be
And
able
I'm
to
sure
get
they
it
are,
to
I'm
them.
not saying that they're not, I'm
Oh.
just saying like,
Like, I don't think I can get everybody together to do a finance committee, because then we're in a quorum, and
no,
I don't know.
I'm not saying meet with
Oh,
them.
okay.
I'm just saying like, have them a little bit more accessible, I guess. I mean, and I would hope that you guys all want to see the bills, because that's kind of why you're there. I don't know, I'm not saying have a meeting by any means, I'm not saying have a meeting. I'm just saying like, if just so they know that they can access them. Maybe it's just not known or something like that, so.
Yeah.
And I just know like on the audit report, it's, you know, it kind of states on there that maybe the council would have a little bit more oversight of bills.
I'd say for me, it's bugging Christie if I see something that's circled that I just go and ask what it is. If that's what you're asking, clarification.
Yeah.
I want to see what we're signing for.
Absolutely, yeah, as it should be,
Yeah.
yeah. But I just wanted to do it, or ask the question.
Okay, thank you. Oh, this is me. I don't have anything besides, there's a lot of great things happening. I hope those of you that come every time, and those of you in the home audience, if someone's watching, got a lot of people working really hard. And I think that we're filling you in the best we can, but if there's stuff we're not letting you know, make sure you're reaching out. So like I said, we got a lot of great stuff happening. A lot of grants being written, which to me equals free money for our community and town. So that's all good stuff. So again, I think we're starting off really well, and I look forward to continuing on. Anybody reach out to YouTube? Anyone else got anything? Sweet, meeting adjourned.
Another motion to adjourn it, or no?
No, it's a motion to adjourn.
No.